All right. Well done. Good afternoon. This is Frank. Okay, I'm here to present a bond contract to you guys. So, according to this contract is well commented out. So you can see there is a vested variables. These are the state variables. So this token now, this address now is the token bond token address, which is the bond token address that we are going to use. This one is the bond price. This one is the last updated. So this last updated is once a bond is issued, the price is also be updated every 15 15 minutes. So at every 15 minutes the price will update. So this last update will now this value will now hold the time of the last updated value. So if the last updated value is now this address, this will hold the current time that is being updated. So this is the immune state variables created or issued, and a state variables. So here we have our my mapping. I have my mapping to the bond address to an address. I also have an address to bill allowance and the address to I am accepted contract. So right. So once you deploy this contract to a testnet, will you have to call these functions. So this function create bond token. This function, what it does is creates the bond token on the network. So if you see, this function calls this contract, which is bond token.so. This bond token.so is a ERC 20 token that is being used on creating the bond. So once you call it, this contract only have three functions. Sorry, two functions. Sorry, three functions, which is initiate. This initiate is being used to initiate the values for that bond, which is the string name, the string symbols. Just you accept a name and the symbols for that token, and this is for the bond, the amount of token you have to bond, and the bond address and the amount of token you have to bond. It has a mint, the address, and the amount of address you want to mint. So once you call this function can only be called once after this contract has been deployed. So if this contract is being deployed, it's only be called once. If you call it twice, it will not go. So if you call it once, it will create a ERC token for that bond contract, and it stores the bond address on this bond token, which is this address that we are seeing here. So once it stores the bond address, that means we can use it again. We can create a bond address again. All right. So after that, this is for update price. This update price function can only be called once the Swan Foundation have already issued their bond. So if they issue the bond, it can only be called anytime. A user can call this update price. A user can call and call it, or if a user wants to buy bond, if a user wants to buy a bond, it will call this update price. It will call the update price function. So it actually goes and update the price for that bond. After updating the price, then that's when you can allow the user to buy the bonds. So after the update price, we have add admin. This admin for this function is just used to add an admin to the contract. So once you add an admin to the contract, the admin that you added will have the right to do everything that is being admin. If you can see I have an admin side. This is the admin side. All this one are admin side, and they have the public view side. So if you add an admin, this is the admin side, and this is the public view side. So if you add an admin, any user that added an admin will have right to do all these functions, to have right to consume all these functions. So that's for the ad admin. So for the issue bond accept two values, which are the amount and the price. So once a admin calls this issue bond, it will set in the amount of bond you want to issue and the price you want to issue that bond for. So once you set in the amount and the price, system will now be able to updating the price of every 15 minutes. So we'll have a add contract. This add contract is for the user to be able to add the ERC20 token contract that this SWAN protocol will be able to use to sell the bond protocols. So this one is for withdrawal ERC token. The withdrawal is after the bonds have been bought or gotten. That's this contract will be used to withdraw the ERC20 token on this contract. So let's go to the public view side. The public view side is the user will actually call this function to get the price for that bond. He calls this function to get the price after getting to get the available bonds on this contract. So if you call it, it will actually goes and check the amount of this token that we created over here. Remember this token I created over here. This is the create bond token. It will actually check the amount of this token that is created that is available on this contract. So it returns the amount. After that, we'll have a bond, a buy bond. This buy bond will also accept the two variables, the smart contract address and the amount you want to buy the bond for. So this is the bond contract. Stay tuned. I'm going to send you other contracts.